Alrighty, welcome to episode 1 of the
Lawless Brothers Radio.
Yes, man.
What's going on?
Case, great to see you. My name is Ryan,
My name is Casey Lawless.
and we're just two brothers, man, looking to document our history, talk some things out over this. What better way than to record ourselves and blast it to the internet? You know what I mean?
100%. Could not agree more.
I think as like the introductory episode, Case, it's your birthday soon. It's your birthday soon. I think
That's right.
What better way? We got Eagles green floating in the background.
Go Birds.
And I think what better way to start than for you to open up your birthday present right here on the first episode.
Holy shit. Here we go.
All right, let's get it.
So, Ryan brought this into my apartment. And this might be greatest wrap job all time. That's number one. Number
Thank
two,
you.
I mean, wrapping paper is insane. If you can't tell, yeah, camera's over here too. This is a pizza. Okay. So, I'm going to hand this mic to you.
Sure.
And I'm going to go ahead and try to open this thing.
All right, let's get it. So, as he's opening this, I just want to say, we got Eagles green in the background. The Eagles just won a Super Bowl. And I feel like what better way than to get like a pretty sick like commemorative piece. I hope it came out good. Honestly, it's a box within a box, and
But to be fair, he made it very easy. It appears that he removed the tape from me, so he's a great
I
guy.
had to check it out, dude. Check it out.
Whoa! This is fucking sick. Oh my god. So, all right, you guys can't see this, but
You gotta spin that shit around.
let's check this out. So, this right here is probably the most aura-filled picture in sports history.
Fuck yeah.
So, this is Jalen Hurts right after winning the Super Bowl, and I think there was a mic'd up moment right before this where he says that confetti is the right color. Thank you
Hey.
so much. This
Fuck yeah,
is
dude.
fucking sick. We don't have any sponsors, so I can curse. So
Yeah, it's a canvas printout. You can put it right on the wall.
dude, yeah, this is bad. This is gonna go right here.
Beautiful.
Like, actually, that's gonna go right there. That's perfect.
Is that what you thought it was gonna be?
I thought it was gonna be like some kind of like commemorative like newspaper
Okay.
kind of thing, like framed, like Eagles win Super Bowl, like
sure.
something like that. But this is even fucking better. This is dude, this is awesome. Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Yeah, man.
This is so cool. What a way to start
What a way
off
to start,
episode 1 of the Born Lawless podcast. Ryan, don't forget, we got a camera over here.
I got a camera over here. Yes, dude. I got a camera over there.
Like I said, this
here,
one's
I'm looking at you.
distracting, but we gotta be cautious. We gotta be courteous about all angles.
Dude, so shout out the photographer that took that photo on Twitter. This was like post Super Bowl. I was just like, I just saw this photo was sick, and I was like, just thinking about it. So I looked at some like canvas printouts, and it came out good. Like the picture itself is way better, but like this actually
Unreal.
came out like pretty well for like a pretty big canvas printout.
Absolutely.
But man, it's sick, dude. Shout out Jalen.
Bro,
First
shout out Jalen Hurts. Shout out my Super Bowl MVP. I don't want to hear no Joe Burrows. I don't want to hear the what if king, Justin Herbert. My quarterback's Super Bowl MVP. I don't know about yours, but this is awesome, dude.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. And I'm going to need 2 hands probably to open this up.
Dude, here, yeah,
Yeah,
go for it.
Dude, yeah, this is awesome, man.
That's cool. Like you can just put it right on the wall.
Similar to this, I was on TikTok and I saw something like this. I think it comes with like a little pin.
Yeah, I put the hooks in there too,
Nice.
so you should just be able to put it like right on the
So
wall.
I'll figure out a way. I actually So, a little fun fact as well. We are going to be restarting the Lawless Sports podcast as
Shout out.
well. So shout out to that. So I'm really excited. Denise and I, my girlfriend Denise, if you're not aware,
They don't know us.
they don't know us. That's true. Maybe a few of them will.
Maybe.
That's fair.
Yeah, you're right.
Shout out Jake. Shout out Aaron. But she saw this thing on TikTok where people are buying this like giant like white sheet. It's basically like a giant like whiteboard.
Okay.
It's not like an actual like whiteboard, but it's like a giant thing that's like it's dry erase. So what our plan is we're gonna measure this out, and I'm gonna get it attached to this wall for the Lawless Sports Podcast. One of my a little sneak peek. One of my segments that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down my 5 favorite plays from the NFL
John Gruden
season.
shit, dude.
Exactly, yeah. So like that's exactly my plan. So if you're familiar with any of John Gruden's content or like the Pat McAfee show. My goal is to kind of have like a bit of a mixture of both. I want to interact with people who are kind of like into the nitty gritty of the sport, you know what I mean? Not, we'll have fun on the show, but I love formations and I love getting into all that. So I literally am gonna get a grease board and I'm gonna put it up here and I'm gonna like be able to like have plays and stuff. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, dude.
And then this can maybe go right to the right of it, and then we could try to get
Wherever,
that in
dude.
shot as well. But this is fucking
Wherever
awesome.
it goes, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, no problem.
So let's talk about you hit me up out of the blue. You called me and you said that you were thinking about doing this. What kind of crossed your mind?
Yeah, dude. So like I was in the gym the other day, and this was like I feel like 3 weeks ago. I think is kind of what we planned out.
Yeah.
And dude, I was listening to this podcast. It's Sean Ryan podcast. He had this. The guest was like his name was Travis Haney, I believe.
Shout out.
And no idea who the guy was, but I listened to Sean Ryan's content a lot, and I love the way he interviews people for one. He has like a lot of like ex-military. He has a lot of people from all over the place. But this guy was like, as soon as you started listening to him, I was like, dude, I want to hear this guy. And he was talking about like, his ex-military operations, how he has like his job now is to kind of try to get like veterans to like, suicide prevention for veterans, which is
That's awesome.
Super admirable.
That's awesome.
But he talked a lot about like what, like coming back from like being a warrior, and like how in these, to dive right into the deepness of it, like how like these, ancient, not even ancient, but like these like shamanic tribes would have these like rites of passage, and how, going through like coming out of war and things like that, they had to go through these experiences, whether it's psychedelic or whatever the case is, before they were even allowed back into the society. And there's some more other things he was talking about, and it was just like some super deep stuff. And like, to be vulnerable, I was in the gym. I was thinking about like things that had happened in the past, half year, really roughly, and how, dude, I'm crushing weights, and I literally started like tearing up listening to this podcast for multiple reasons. Like, not only was it just a great listen, and you should listen to it, but I started thinking about you, dude. I was like, dude, I fucking miss this kid. Like, I think, and we have definitely talked a lot about like doing something together for like a long time.
Yes.
In multiple ways, not just this. Like, I hopped on the Lawless Sports podcast. We've talked about like, cooking, like we've worked together, like doing all, like, hey, maybe we'll start like a food business or something. Like, we've talked about it in so many different facets. And then like, I was just at a spot where I was like, you know what? I think this is like, this is perfect. Like, this is the time to do it. This is the time to start creating something, to like build something, because, as close as we are, and as close as like we are with our sister too, I think we live drastically different lives.
As kind of interlinked as you and I have been for, the last 25, almost 26 years of my life, but even like just the past like 3 years with like, like me, kind of, always wanting to live in California, you moving to California. We've had a very like similar path in terms of like how we are where we are now, but like we took drastically different ways to get there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's like the coolest thing that I'm ready to like really discover, like doing this together.
Yeah, you're briefly mentioning, you're like, dude, there's like parts where like I don't even remember what happened like for your own self during like these like 2-3 year periods, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And I do, I feel that too. And so like that's really what inspired it. Like where it's gonna go, I have no idea. But I can tell you that like it was just a genuine. I was like, dude, we live close to each other. Like, we're kind of almost like doing ourselves an injustice if we don't work together. Because,
in some capacity.
Because we're sick as fuck, dude. And
sorry to break it to you.
And I think a lot of people can definitely relate and to some of the stuff we've done and how we've gone about what we've gone about, and like crazy off beaten paths to get there. And like that's kind of why we're here to start it. And who knows where it'll come from, or where it'll go for real per se. But to I want to start off, let's bring it back to the Eagles. Let's have some fun first before we jump right into the fucking psychedelics and aliens and whatever else,
Hey, you never. Hey, listen, they're among us, but what do you got for me?
All right, so we're out. We don't have to give specific. We're out in Southern California now.
Yes.
Okay, we're from the Philadelphia area.
Yes.
Very close to the suburb that bordered Philadelphia. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And football is a big part of both our lives for a while.
Huge.
You are an absolute super freak fan.
I
So
am.
much of a dedicated fan that you flew back twice.
Yeah.
You flew back to Philadelphia twice during this last playoff run.
I am a psychopath. Yes.
All right. Tell us about that. Why'd you do it? What was the experience worth it during the Super Bowl run? Talk to me.
I mean, yeah. It absolutely was worth it. So I'll just kind of break down what happened. So yes, being born and raised, in like that like Philadelphian suburb area, like the Philadelphia Eagles and all Philadelphia sports have always been a massive deal to me.
Sure.
Football more than anything was probably my first love when I was like 7 years old.
It's the greatest sport.
Like it's just the greatest sport of all time, and there's no comparison. And it's football. I know about that one. That's soccer. Okay, it's football, baby. But anyway, so the first time I flew back, so Eagles finished 14-3. We secured playoff spot, wild card against the Green Bay Packers at home. So we have a home playoff run, at least at first, right? So my best friend, Brendan, shout out. Him and I are on the phone together legitimately the Thursday of the week of the game. And him and I are chatting, and we're just talking. And he was like, yo, like, have you, like the Eagles play the Packers this weekend? I'm like, yeah, dude, of course. He's like, have you looked at tickets? And I was like, fucking no. For what? He's like, dude, I'm just telling you, like, they're really cheap right now. And I was like, all right, let's just check.
For the game?
For the game.
Okay.
So I'm like, let's just check these tickets out as a joke, right? And again, keep in mind, the Eagles, as polarizing of a team as they are, they're one of the most popular teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And games there, like, tickets are fucking expensive.
Fans all over the place.
Yeah, tickets are fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And I see tickets for $200. And to me, I can absolutely justify spending $200 to go to an Eagles game. So then I say to Brendan as a joke, let me just check flight. You know what I mean? Well, let's just check. Let's see what flights are. So I check flights. And a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a flight that had what I was looking for seat-wise as well as nonstop. It was $600. So Brendan and I on the phone are doing the math together, which is it's very simply $800. But I'm looking at my bank accounts, I'm looking at my credit cards, and I physically could not make an excuse to not go.
Okay.
So then we talk about it again on Friday. And I'm like, dude, I think I'm going to fucking do this. Like, I have to go. Like, I need to go to an Eagles playoff game. When's the next time I'm going to go to an Eagles playoff game for $200?
Yeah, and I remember you saying, actually, that you're like, this is like guaranteed home playoff game. Like,
home,
gotta go. Yeah.
Not only that, but home win. I knew we were fucking winning.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to Green Bay. It's just...
Hey, you can say whatever you want to. Hindsight's perfect, and we won Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, we beat the shit out of them. But that's neither here nor there. But I knew we were going to win this game, and how fucking cool would it be to fly home for your favorite team and watch them win a playoff game to get them one step closer to the Super Bowl? But the funniest part about it was that Friday night. Like, I fly out Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I haven't bought the tickets yet. It's Friday night.
Okay. You haven't bought the game tickets.
I haven't bought any tickets.
You haven't bought any tickets. You're flying out Saturday morning, but it's Friday night and you haven't even bought the plane ticket.
Nothing.
Okay.
And I'm on FaceTime with Brendan, and I'm like, yo. Actually, no, I was on a regular phone call with Brendan, and I said, yo, let me add Denise into this call.
Oh, shit.
Kind of like fucking like, you know what I mean? Like if your mom says no, you ask your dad, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But it wasn't about asking for permission. It was more about just like, telling the love of my life, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. So I mean, shout out technology. How fucking crazy are these little boxes that we hold around all day that could do whatever the fuck we tell them to do? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, we're here.
But anyway, so I make it a 3-way call. So now I got my best friend and then my other best friend, who happens to be the love of my life. I got all three. We got all two of them on the phone. And I say, hey, so I'm thinking of flying back to go to the Eagles game. And she's like, oh, my God, absolutely fucking do it.
Yeah.
And that's basically all it took for me to be like, yep, bing, bang, boom, done. I flew out 12 hours later.
12 hours later.
15 hours later after
was
I
the game on Saturday?
Sunday.
It was on Sunday. So
yeah.
You flew out Saturday morning.
Yep.
Basically, all-day flight. You're going East Coast.
Yep.
You lose time going there.
That's correct.
It's like 9-hour, 10-hour day already in
and
travel.
Then not only that, the moment I get off the plane, Brendan picks me up. He's like, yo, let's go to the gym. I'm like, bet. Mom calls me.
Okay.
And she's like, hey, me and your aunt and uncle are, like, at this bar. Like, come meet us. Like, just say what's up before you go. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I go home real quick to, like, eat something. And then we drive up. And then I meet my aunt, uncle, and mom at this bar. And, like, we're just hanging out. And then I end up at my uncle's house drinking.
No gym.
No gym. Yeah. No, not even close. We end up drinking till about 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we have to be at this tailgate
Okay.
at 11 a.m.
Okay.
And it's 5 a.m. Sunday morning that I went to sleep.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Perfect.
So, yeah, dude. And then, of course, being able to go to the game. I mean, it was fucking freezing.
Yeah.
But it was just such a blast, dude. It was just so much fun. And, yeah, I have zero regrets.
Zero regrets. And that is Wild Card Weekend.
That's Wild Card Weekend.
Beat the Packers at home.
That's right.
Now you're back.
Fast forward. So, let's fast forward to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
So,
let me actually, I'm going to jump in real quick.
Go ahead,
just because NFC Championship.
Right. Oh, yeah.
We did get to hang out on the NFC Championship.
Yes, we did.
Shout out Pretzels and Pints, by the way.
Shout out Pretzels and Pints in San Diego, best Eagles bar in California.
Yeah, that was that is quite the vibe. Like it definitely is. If they took if you are ever curious about what Philadelphia is like, if you took a bar out of Philadelphia and dropped it, that is definitely the one.
That's a Casey Lawless quote right there.
It's great place, great vibes, yeah, man, we were there for the
NFC title game,
and it was smoke show.
Jesus Christ, we murdered them.
So that was great, and then and I'm not even. So that great time there, chilling with some people there, all was good. And then now, like, okay, we're in the Super Bowl. And so I'm like, the plan was, right, like, I was like, all right, cool. We're gonna hang out. We're going to go back to the same spot, get there early. It's going to be a good time. And then, like, a few days before, like, dude, I already knew it was happening, too. I already knew it was going to go down. But I'll let you kind of carry off from there because we were planning on going to Pretzels and Pints together. I was not buying a flight to go anywhere, to be honest with you. That's a whole different conversation. But I'm not, I was down on Broad Street for the 2017 Super Bowl with my friend Jake, which was a great time. But we got some recency. This is we're talking about right now. So
absolutely,
you explain the Super Bowl weekend and
dude,
and how that went.
I mean, yeah, it was a trip, man. Again, kind of a very similar situation. I mean, I told my best friend Matt, he calls me, and he's like, "Yo, we're going to the Super Bowl." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "No, like, I need you for the Super Bowl." So I'm talking to Matt, and then Josh calls me, my best buddy Josh, shout out. And he's like, no, like, Case, like, it would be so awesome if you were able to fly back. To the point where they were like, yo, we will, like, chip in money to help you fly out.
Damn.
Like, unbelievable. And then my best friend Brendan makes a GoFundMe.
Absurd.
Which, shout out to anybody who donated. $50. That's $50 I didn't have.
You're insane.
So, I mean, it was just one of those things, dude, where I was like, yeah, I absolutely have to be there with my best friends. And so, and that was like legitimately like a picture perfect weekend. So, fly in Saturday night.
Okay.
I make sure to go to the airport in my gym clothes.
Okay.
We drive straight from the airport to the gym. I hit my fucking bench PR off a 6-hour nonstop flight.
Just juiced up off the birds?
Just unbelievable. Yeah, just juiced up, ready to fucking go.
Yeah.
And so that was fire. And then after that, wake up the next day, go to the gym again, hit my heaviest deadlift that I've hit in probably a year and a half. Just strictly off of vibes alone. Hit 4.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I've competed, all right? This wasn't anything crazy, but I hit 435 after not deadlifting for 18 months.
Just for fun?
Just for fun.
Like, were you planning on going to...
Well, they said, like, yo, Case, like, Matt was like, yo, like, I haven't, like, deadlifted in a while. Like, I kind of want to deadlift. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, fuck it. Let's just see what I can do. And I didn't have any of my actual equipment with me. You know, I didn't have any of, like, you know, like my actual belt or my straps or nothing. But it was just pure vibes. And I was able to smack around 435. After that, killed arms. And, dude, now, bro, I mean, like, this was, like, dude, this is, like, the coolest day ever, dude. So, right after the gym, go into the fucking parking lot, shotgun a beer, and then right after that, may or may not have had a road soda on the way over, and the bar was 30 seconds away, and as we pulled it, dude, you want to talk about just everything working out for a reason? We pulled in and got the last parking spot available.
Damn.
And it was right in front of the bar.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
we were it was a bar in Horsham.
Yeah.
And
the girls I met at North Park knew the bar. When I talked to you on FaceTime, they actually were like, "Oh, I think you were there."
That place is sick, yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it kind of felt like a high school reunion a little bit. I
Yeah.
did see a lot of humans that
For
I don't really care to associate with anymore. But you know,
whatever.
hey, you need a place to
It is
be,
what it
you know,
is.
and I get it. Hey, if that offended you,
You were there.
Yeah, and I was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the shoe fits, right? But no, dude. And then also again, shout out to Josh Sloan, because he got there at open to secure us a table. Because
Okay.
this place was fucking mobbed.
Nice.
So the fact that we were able to just walk past all these fucking people who have nowhere to sit, and then immediately have a place where I can sit, grab some food. I mean, dude, it was just splendid, bro.
All right.
And by this time, I'm probably about 4 beers in.
So you're
already.
watching the Super Bowl here.
What?
This is where you're watching. The
Oh
Super Bowl.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is like,
giant, dude. They TVs everywhere. It was like a really nice bar. Like
Okay.
everyone who I talked to about it is like, yeah, I'll give them a little shout. All right. It was McGurk's. You know what I mean? it was McGurk's. And I was like, okay. But nah, dude. But vibes were super high. It was me, Matt, Bryn, Josh's girlfriend, Matt's girlfriend, another girl, and yeah, and that was about it. But dude, it was just a fucking awesome time, man. And we just had a blast watching, and it might be my greatest hate watch of all time.
Your greatest hate watch.
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
What I mean by that, like, it was just like fucking every time we scored, just fucking kill him again. Just fucking like I didn't need competitive. I didn't need a chance.
No.
I didn't need any. Every time we scored, I was like, again, like fucking murder these fucking.
Shout out Winter Soldier.
Oh my yes. Or fucking what was it? Like Star Wars Force Awakens. Star Wars Force Awakens. Like Kylo Ren. More.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out.
That was dominant, dude. Literally.
It was just
and the game was over in the third quarter, which is sad for.
It was over at it was over at half.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you know, last time we played the Chiefs 2 years ago, we had a 10-point lead going into the second half. So it was 24-14.
Yeah.
But in that game, again, there's a big
Turnover
difference.
differential.
First of all, turnover differential. By the way, Philadelphia Eagles all-time turnover differential in NFL playoff history, +10
Shit. How about that?
ever.
Okay.
So it's unbelievable. But what I will say about that weekend that was even better was going down to Broad Street and celebrating with like the literal like million.
Post up. It's all love. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing. Like you hate like, and not that. I mean, you can say what yours was, but I think one of the craziest things when I was there for like 2017 was that like, dude, there are so many people in Philadelphia like. And everyone's gonna say what they want to say about like how it is and like the people crazy and taking. And yeah, you got a bunch of idiots taking flagpoles and ripping traffic lights out and doing whatever. And it does happen for sure. But the one of the coolest things about it, and maybe you did encounter this, was the fact that like, dude, when we won and we're like leaving, bro, you're hugging random people. Bro, everyone, like, there's no, like, the euphoria is so high and everyone's in good spirits, dude, like that. It's like, it's a crazy place to be because, like, dude, I said, it's just all love. It's wild. It
was probably, like, listen again, there was a lot of videos and pictures and stuff that came out afterward. And I got to tell you something, I've never felt that showered with just like love and just like unity and community and just like, oh my fucking God, we did. And again, it might sound delusional to some to say we. I'm not fucking suiting up. I get it. But you got to understand that when there is something as close to like an identity that the Philadelphia Eagles have become for not only me, but for, the entire city, like, it truly does feel like we won.
Yeah.
Like, we won. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, dude, I remember being at a game where we were down. I was with you. We were playing the Giants.
That was a sick game, dude.
That was a sick game. We were down. Well, no, not that game. The last game that we went to before I moved to California.
Yeah, okay. My fault.
We were down by 2 touchdowns. We were down.
Who were playing against?
Giants.
Both games were against the Giants?
Mm-hmm. We were down like 21-7 at half, and we booed the Eagles out of the fucking building. What did we do? We came back and won, and we showered them with more cheers than they could ever hand. And my point is, it's a passion. It's a difference. It's not like a Minnesota. It's not like a fucking. It's not like a Houston Texans. It's not like a Jaguars. It's a different feeling. If you are a fan of a team where there's just a different, like, you know what? I'll even give it to Kansas City. Like, there's just a different energy. Like, there is like we really love this football team and we are a part of it. And I know we're getting a little off track here, but from what I was saying, but yeah, being on Broad Street, that was just something special. I mean, just watching people fucking take over and climb garbage trucks and fucking. Actually, the fucking wildest part was at the very end. So we were trying to meet up with my buddy's sister, and we had our location on his phone, and we're making.
Did your phone work?
Huh?
Did your phone work?
Kinda. Yeah. It was that was also. I don't even. Yeah. And my phone was like dying the whole time. It was a scary time, but shout out Matt for driving. That is crazy. But anyway, dude, yeah, because we took an Uber. Also, wait, real quick, the Uber to Broad Street. Buddy, whoever you are, most goated Uber driver of all time. I have never seen a dude drive on like more fucking sidewalks and fucking more like fucking cutting in and fucking out of fucking. It was like the craziest fucking thing I've ever been a part. He probably
GTA.
Dog. He probably cut off like 30 minutes of drive time. I swear to God, it was like the most insane thing I've ever been a part of.
Just for you guys.
He was unfucking believable. The only thing that sucked was that we had this one fucking drunk kid next to me, and I wanted to fucking kill him the entire time. Oh,
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Right,
it was my buddy Aiden's friend. Yeah, if you're watching this, suck it. But I wanted to punch this kid in the fucking face the whole time, but I had to be polite.
Okay.
But that was the only bad part. And then Matt driving down with Josh and Matt's girlfriend, and them finding us somehow after getting dropped out of the Uber out of this random part in Center City, and Matt just spontaneously just appearing out of thin air. Like, dude, he like tapped. It was like the craziest night. But get back to my point. We're trying to find my buddy's sister, and as we're going there, I look up from my phone and I see like 100 suited up, like black police gear, riot shield squad looking motherfuckers. And I looked at my friends. I'm like, time to go. Let's turn because they were trying to push us back, bro. City of Philadelphia, maybe don't agitate police officers with weapons. The fact that I have to watch people IRL in person get mad that police officers exist and are trying to stop the fucking destruction of the city.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, there's idiots everywhere, man.
Bro,
There's
it was
idiots everywhere.
mind-boggling. Like, watching people. Like, dude, it pisses me off to even think about it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, listen, I respect what the police do. You know what I mean? They have a fucking job to do. You know what I mean? I mean, imagine a fucking million people just randomly popping into the fucking street. Dude, I walked past fucking legit traffic lights pulled out of the ground.
Yeah.
Like, I understand what you guys were dealing with all fucking night, but. So for them to, like, be like, all right, guys, like, kind of time to go, or maybe, like, you know, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here kind of thing. Sure. And the fact that there's people like, shut up. You're touching up. Do you want to die? Like, what are we doing? And then you're going to, like, call a police brutality or something. It's
I think people are just out of touch. Dude.
I just don't understand. Like, dude, you just gotta know. I don't care how much you drank, how much you smoked. By the end of the day, you're still you. Right. And if that's really how you're acting, Jesus Christ. But yeah, dude, so that was the time where we kind of knew it was time to go home. Yeah. And but I would not change a single fucking thing besides the fact that I absolutely had the biggest migraine of my entire life.
Sure.
Because of the amount of alcohol I drank.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, and fun fact.
You're borrowing happiness from the
dude,
next day.
Bro, I was already fucking plastered on the way down there.
Yeah.
As we're getting down in this one, like in the middle of, like, right around, like the art museum. No, not the art museum. Independence Hall. We're in that area. And this dude walks up to me. He's like, hey, buddy, could you please, like, take a group picture for me? Like, with all my friends. I'm like, yeah, of course. Hands me the phone. Hand him back the phone. Sure. He's like, dude, these are sick, dude. Thank you. I'm like, yeah, of course. Start to walk away. Taps me on the shoulder. You want a beer? I'm like,
oh, damn.
Yes.
Photography paid in beer.
Absolutely. I look down at the ground. What do I see? Case of Natty Light. Shout out Natural Light. Hands me a fucking cold one, says, and then he cracks himself one. He says, cheers, baby. Cheers, man. And then I chugged that shit. And yeah, I drank a lot more alcohol that night than I did water. So, kids, double fist, okay? Water, beer. You know
water and beer.
Yeah, dude. Make sure we're double fisting every glass of water.
It's basically water, but
yeah. But yeah, you know, it dries you out a little bit.
Dude, did you think of it? I mean, obviously, like, now you come back, right? Like, did you think about the parade at all?
Yeah, I did. Listen, dude. I mean, you got to think about it. Within a month's time, flying back and forth already twice, and then. You know, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of requesting off. It's a lot of, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff like that. And then that same week to fly back for the parade, to me, it just, like, I felt like I was there in spirit. Because I was there. I was at the parade. So, funny enough, did you go to the parade? 2017?
I did go to the parade. And so that's a good segue into something else I'd like to talk about. I did go to the parade.
I went to the parade for 2017. Okay. So, for me, I was like, I've already got the parade experience. Yeah. I don't need to do it a second time. Not only that, I'm in a very different phase of my life. You know I
think the parade experience is trash, by the way.
It was,
and I'll explain why, but
it was fine. It was still love, admiration, like,
it's
hugging
just not the same, dude.
But it wasn't the same after, like, immediately post win is just post dub pop is real.
The parade sucked because it was just like it's like so many. It's actually ironically it's actually more people than the post game pop, because like now there's like people coming from all over who are like
absolutely yep.
And then dude, you're just like stuck with like you're literally like it's in a weird way it's kind of scary because like you are shoulder to shoulder with like so many people. Your phone does not work. You can't go to the bathroom anywhere, dude. It's like there's no like
you're cooked.
You know, like it was, and you barely even you don't even get to see the people, right? So it's like you know it's just like another reason to get together or whatever. But I think all in all, like the parades are kind of overhyped a little bit. But
like I said,
I mean, hey, it's only gonna happen once, I guess, or maybe not. Well, it might happen a couple more times here in the future. But
I mean, hey, we have the team to get to be completely honest with you. We have the team to get right back. I mean, we just re-signed Zach Bond. We re-signed Saquon Barkley to an extension. Slay, thank you for your
service.
Honestly, yeah, thank you for your service. You can argue he's the greatest corner to ever play in a Philadelphia Eagles jersey.
Okay.
I mean, he is, in my opinion, he's the first.
Might have two more that take over for him.
That's I mean, that's true. In my opinion, he is Hall of Fame bound. He has the resume, and you know he's suited up for us. And I maybe biggest Slay hater all time over the last 2 years, But I'll include playoffs too. The last 10 weeks of the totality of our NFL season, he was fucking spectacular. He genuinely was unfucking believable. 2023, you were some hot ass. Beginning of this year, you were some hot ass. I'm looking at you.
Slay his ass.
And then, when it fucking mattered most, I watched him catch an interception live.
Okay.
He baited the shit out of Jordan Love on that deep route to Christian. I believe it was Christian Watt. Yeah, it was perfect.
Okay.
A little bit of hand fighting. Ref didn't see it. I didn't see it. And then fucking caught that John in stride. Like he was the receiver. It was crazy. So, Slay, I appreciate your service. I didn't mean to take over right there. But, yeah, Eagles have the roster. Eagles have the roster to get back. We have our offensive line should be fully coming back. I hope Mekhi Becton wants to stay an Eagle. Hopefully he could take a little bit of a discount because I hate to sound like this guy, man, but like he knows how much he's worth now, especially at guard. But within this system with Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, I mean, it's just it's a fearsome five, and I feel like you have to keep it together.
Yeah. I mean, every person's different when it comes to that stuff. You would kind of hope that, like, dude, like the team is that good, but it's like, say we're gonna let it ride, right? I feel like almost always you see like a superstar player take money to go to some other team, and it doesn't work. Like,
no.
I mean, hey, you got paid, congratulations, and like not even hating on that, but like that team is not like it doesn't work out.
Tyreek is the one that comes to my mind immediately going to Miami.
Yeah,
they're paying that motherfucker $30 million a year to do what?
To run a lot.
Lose.
To run a lot. Side to side.
And lose a lot.
Dude, I think, love the Birds. I love football for real. Been playing sports my whole life. I think it would be a good transition to something would be cool to talk about. So that 2017 parade, I wasn't supposed to go to that. I was actually at work at Chick-fil-A. And I fucking literally like fake threw up to go home early to go to that parade. That is literally how I even got to that parade in the first place, which is funny. And the reason why I bring up Chick-fil-A is just because, dude, it's your first job. It was my first job. We worked together for what, 4 years?
I would say just under 4 years.
Just under 4 years, yeah. And a lot of the friends you're talking about are from that Chick-fil-A world.
Shout out. Shout out Horizon.
Know a lot of people from there. But what an experience working in a kitchen at the Chick-fil-A. First job. We were talking. We've been hanging out all day today, so we're kind of having like a lot of conversation already before we got to this point. But just talking about like the different drama and situations that happen in the workplace, especially
unreal
with fast-paced chicken.
You wouldn't think that. First of all, it's fast.
Shout out Lawrence Crawford, dude. I hope actually.
Also, shout out Pops.
When I go home, I hope he's still there.
God, he's the fucking man.
I hope so. Lawrence
Zach's
Crawford,
still there.
Cadillac Crawford.
Shout out Zach Burke.
Zach Burke, love that kid to death.
But it's
it's
not fast food, it's fast service.
Let's talk about that,
okay.
How was so you get a job at Chick-fil-A?
Yep.
Why'd you get a job at Chick-fil-A? Yeah.
Do you not know?
I kind of forget. Did I just say, hey, do you want to come work here?
So, I'm a junior in high school.
Okay.
I believe. I don't think I was a sophomore. I think I was a junior. And yes, I was a junior in high school. And I'm getting home, and I'm literally just sitting down watching TV just right after school, like doing my homework and watching TV. And you walk in from like an opening shift or something.
Okay.
So it must have been around like 4 or something. And you literally looked at me sitting on the couch. You're like, yo. I'm like, what's up? You're like, are you bored? And I was like, no, I'm good, man. I'm just watching TV. And you're like, yeah, but don't you like want to have money?
Damn.
And I was like, fuck, he's coming out my pockets right now. Fuck. And you were literally like, Case, like, if you have fucking nothing better to do and you don't have a job and you want to make some money, plus we also maybe or may not need help. They needed a lot of help. That place always needs fucking help, okay?
It is a
The
It is
turnover.
a demanding. It is not. I don't want to say it's a hard job. Like you're not.
No.
But it is definitely like it's a lot more physically demanding than you would think.
Absolutely.
For real.
Well,
Absolutely.
Dude, the amount of children that I have like trained
Yeah.
who have not shown up for their next shift,
Yeah.
like it is fucking mind-boggling. Like you would not think that fucking serving chicken is that like labor induced. It is,
So,
especially in that like setting.
I
Because
think-
we
I think
did
it's a
really
good
well.
story, dude. I think it's a good story. So man, tell them about your first couple days.
Oh
and
man,
The preface, like
Go
so,
ahead.
All in all, I worked at Chick-fil-A for like 5 years, and there was like some minor breaks or whatever for a whole different thing. But this is about, when did you start?
2015.
2015.
So I was
Damn, it really was 2015.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. Jesus Christ, that's so gross. I was
And it was like
I was
like
16.
Fall 2015.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that time. Yeah, it was right beginning of like school.
That actually connects some dots for me because I had graduated in 2014, kind of unsure what I was doing, but working full time at Chick-fil-A, and dude, that shit, I was working like 50+ hour weeks. Like literally, it was like a lot of different factors in life at that time, and we can maybe talk about that later. But I think it'd be cool to talk about what we were talking about this morning about like. So it's your first day.
Second
day. Another
Second
couple
day.
people's first day.
Yes.
The case was. How was your first day? Do you remember the first day?
I don't really remember the first day too much. I remember me and my buddy Joe Conley, shout out. We started the same day.
Yeah.
We were in the same hiring class. And I don't remember too much of my first day, but that second day I will never forget for the rest of my life. Literally second day on the job.
Walk us through it.
So at this time, Ryan is a kitchen leader at this time. So this is before you get promoted to manager. And Ryan was stuck with the task of closing the kitchen with basically zero experienced people. Everybody on the shift was either like brand new like me or just started like a month like we was like a brand new kitchen
It was like
basically.
for real, like all within like a week.
Like
actually,
all
legit.
with it like
Legit.
and Ryan was tasked to close the kitchen with him and 3 other people.
And 2015, I was 19 years old.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, you were. That's so crazy. And like actually that is crazy. But
Because you think for real, and the weird thing too is like just to preface this, like I'm 28 now. Like when you think about like a 19-year-old kid, like what was expected of us, and like also
Oh
like
my
how
God.
much like, and then I was 19, you were 16, and those kids that are with you were like 16 and 17 and like so on. So like, dude, it's, I mean, if you really like, it's it's just fast food, but we're talking about like $5+ million a year business. Like that's no joke, right?
yeah, at that time, yeah.
That's no joke. So, just to preface before he lays what happens here next.
So basically, if you haven't worked in food before, honestly, it should be a legal requirement that everyone at least works 1 year in food service. I think.
Yeah.
I think it gives you a lot of perspective on life. Okay, so I'm just gonna preface that there. So if you have worked in food, you already kind of know where I'm going. If you haven't worked in food, honestly, shame on you, but also like you're lucky. But anyway, so Ryan essentially is like the leader on shift. We had a kitchen manager who his responsibilities were done that day at 4 p.m. So Ryan is leading the show basically from 4 p.m. all the way till close, so 10 p.m., and then cleaning and all that stuff. And he was basically asked to do this with, honestly, even though he had 4 of us, 0 help. Like, none of us really knew anything about the job. We didn't really know what actually had to be done. It was essentially asking Ryan, this 19-year-old kid who probably already had a fucking long week, probably had a long fucking
this
month.
is like some straw on the camel's back.
Yeah, like,
situation of,
and
dude,
it's
this
getting
shit
to the
just sucks.
it's getting to the point where there's no experience in the kitchen. It's just him. And honestly, I believe that our GM David Smallwood, shout out, was making the schedule for not just even the kitchen but the whole store. So this is
probably.
this is pre-camp schedule. Yeah. So David, in his head, looked at Ryan has 5 people. That's enough to close. And Ryan is having a very heated discussion with Ryan Kampmeyer, our former kitchen manager, shout out, and Ryan is basically bitching.
I was basically saying, like, dude, like, you know this sucks, dude.
Like, he's like, this is,
Because we know what we need to do, and so we're, like, looking at him like, bro, you know I'm going to get screwed tonight. Like, you know what this is. And, like, he was like, I do remember saying, he's like, hey, yeah, I'm about to go have a conversation with Dave. Like, you know, it's probably not going to go too well, right?
Yep.
And then, so they go back in. So you come in, you're probably, like, scooping fries now at this point.
That's
like,
right.
You know, this dude. And again, bro, day 2, dude, when you're day 2 in any food service, you never worked in your life. Bro, these fools don't even know what planet they're on, bro. Like, they're trying to, like, you know, there's.
It's so much harder than you really could think.
Forget the dynamic of, like, the drama and the people dynamic. Like, I'm talking about, like, literally the act of just going doot and, like, putting that, like, you can't, like,
it's so weird.
To figure it out, right?
It's the most awkward thing of all time if you've never put fries into a box. I know that sounds like fucking, like, it sounds mind-blowing out loud to say these words, but I'm telling the truth. It's such a it's not a fucking. You're not born with this motion, okay? But unfortunately, if I were to go back into a Chick-fil-A kitchen right now, I could I can murk that shit. Yeah, 100%. But anyway, go ahead.
So I mean, I'll take it. So Kit, you know, he's on fries, and dude, I mean, a lot different now, but I was definitely a hothead. You know, definitely a hothead. Still am, but it's just contained now. And so David comes out, and this is. It really, you know, at the time, it was just like one of those managers who was like, this is not a bad person, just like a lack of like understanding of like what is actually going on and like what it takes, right? But like, you know, I'm still a young kid, so I was like, he's like, oh, you know, Lawless, do you need anything or whatever he said? And I was like, need, you know, I just started popping off. I was like, David, this shit sucks. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, like, you know, I literally, as a 19-year-old kid, in the middle of like, you know, 5 o'clock like dinner rush. Just roast the shit out of my general manager to his face in the middle of the kitchen. Just like, dude, you are fucking awful at your job. Like, you don't know what's going on. Da da da. Like all this stuff. Boom, boom, boom.
And bro, mind you, I am just fighting for my life on fries, just trying my best to like keep up with like the fucking billion orders that we have.
Yeah.
And as Ryan is fucking just eviscerating David verbally,
dude,
then
I saw red. I don't even know what happened.
Dude, the best part is right after he's in the middle of making a sandwich, throws the fucking bread down. He's like, I'm fucking done. Walks past me. Now this isn't a big kitchen, so when I say walks past me, I mean he took one step and now he's behind me. Ryan taps me on the shoulder, says, "You don't need this fucking job. Come on." Dude, the girl on front who was like bagging my orders, her face is just agape like. And I just looked at him mid-fry like this. So this is the box.
Yeah,
and then
I do
this
remember
is the fruit.
this actually.
And I turned back. I was like, I kind of do. And I said it verbatim like that. No. And then Ryan's walking out, and David's just screaming, "Are you walking out on your responsibilities?" And you don't respond. And he says, "Ryan, are you walking out on your responsibilities?" And you're like, "Yeah, David, I'm walking out on my responsibilities."
Yeah, I was basically like, you do this, basically.
Like,
you
shut
do this shit. You don't know what's happening, right?
And not only that, to just prove how goated of a human Ryan Lawless is, curses out his general manager to his face, shows me a text message the next day as a 19-year-old that they are begging for him to come back. And not only come back, they give him a fucking raise.
Yeah, I mean, so it all worked out, man.
So, yeah, it all worked out. But,
pretty funny,
like,
dude.
Jesus Christ, are you kidding me?
Like, that was, I mean, hey, I guess, like, the crying baby gets fed, and in this sense, the raging, the
raging 19-year-old.
testosterone-filled fucking child gets fed. But now it's funny. I remember like sitting down with the kitchen manager, and he's like, oh, dude, just basically like, dude, can you come back, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, fuck this, dude, or whatever. And then and I did, it's all good. It's all good. I did come back. I think I got $1.50 more at the time.
Hey, in 2016, that's like a $20 raise today.
Working like 50-hour weeks, some overtime in there.
That adds up, man.
It was pretty solid.
And
And that is David's a good guy, and David, you didn't deserve that.
Nah, shout out David Smallwood. He's a good man.
Sorry for that one. And yeah, man. So there's just working at Chick-fil-A, dude. What a time, man. What some characters you meet, like real like people you like literally will never forget. You know, Chick-fil-A is a funny thing too. Like I think like, you know, when you're working at Chick-fil-A, you got the whole I would like actually this like. People are like, oh, you know, the whole my pleasure thing, da da da, and it's like, dude, when you're in the kitchen, and even some of the people up front too, like some of the people you work with, like they, you know, they're still people, dude. So I think it's funny when it was like, oh, like every, you know, they must hold you these like crazy standards, which I mean maybe they do that, but like, just everyone's saying my pleasure and everyone's really nice, like, dude, they're still people. The kids that worked in the back, bro, were wilding out. I had to like keep these, you know, I was basically training these children on how to, you know, operate a kitchen, which was just a crazy thing to even think of.
God.
You meet some characters, Billy Johnson.
Shout out William Jeremiah. Jesus. Dom Cianfrani.
Yes.
Oh my God, so many. Heasley. I mean, there's some. Peter Lee might be the most goated human of all time.
Actually, I see him on the gram.
He's wild. Yeah,
stuff.
he's wilding out.
Did not expect that.
Yeah, Peter, you are wilding out. I'm gonna just come out and say it. Okay.
Did not expect that from Peter. But dude, let's you know, it's not to talk about people. I mean, it's yeah, like you said, like you know, you should like have to do like a year in like food service or something. Dude, I worked at Chick-fil-A for 5 years, and like you know, roasts are just like all kitchen. And dude, you do learn how to like work. You learn how to like not even just work, but like you know, also like work for others. Like actually, do you remember? She was this lady who worked. She worked up front like a day a week. I think her name was like Cameron or something like that. She would work at night.
Yeah, that sounds kind of familiar.
Well, anyway, like I was like doing like dishes, right? And like now I'm the kitchen manager, and like I'm like doing dishes, whatever the case was. And she's like, "Oh wow, Ryan, like you know you're out here, you know, busting suds or whatever the case is, da da da." And I was like, "Dude, listen, like you know, I'm not gonna do anything that like, or I'm not gonna tell anybody to do something that I would not be willing to do myself." Which
absolutely.
I think was like, that's some good shit to learn like in life, and I think the people that I worked with at Chick-fil-A would, you know, definitely say that I backed it up
100%.
And it was pretty crazy, man. You know, you learn a lot. I got into many altercations with people I worked with while being there. But you know, wouldn't change it, man. It was a wild time, dude. It was a wild time.
But yeah, man, you know, especially what you just said, like not asking someone to do something that like you wouldn't do yourself. Like I took that to heart, and I probably subconsciously learned that from you, and like verbatim. And then like once I got promoted to kitchen manager, like that's something that like everybody, like again, if you worked with me at Chick-fil-A, I would hope that you would also say the same thing. But you learn, dude. It's so weird. You learn like a lot about like. Honestly, like adversity, and like you learn a lot about like the type of like punishment you could put onto yourself. Sure, I would say, and like what you're able to like put yourself through. So it's definitely a very specific experience, and yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it to everybody, but it definitely helps shape.
And like I learned to like realize that was like when I was young, like realizing like how much effect I had on people. Like I know, like dude, like Love and Harris and stuff, like both of them, like dude, I remember like talking to them and like them like really like appreciating like what I was like doing for them, which is like a weird thing just because like you don't, you know, you're just doing your job. And so it was cool to like realize that like I had that effect on people, and like when I didn't really know it, and probably also too like didn't feel about it myself, right? Because like that's you know, I'm looking at 2015 was the fall after AW champs, which was like fucking choking champs. So
yeah.
So I hated, you know, I was getting towards that territory of like hating my life a little bit, and so it was.
You might want to provide some context on that,
dude,
for the humans. Like they might not even know what AW is.
Exactly. I should say that. Yeah. So like more to like throughout high school, basically from like 16 to like 21, I was like basically getting paid to play video games. I was getting paid to travel to play Call of Duty. It was a wild experience. I met a lot of people who I've like kind of fallen out from, to be honest with you, but you know, it is what it is at the time. Much all love to all those people, but it's, it was a crazy thing because I was like just playing video games, and then me and my friends started playing tournaments, and then I started meeting people online to play tournaments. There wasn't a lot of money like it is now. There was no Fortnite like Ninja making millions of dollars. We really were just doing it just to do it.
What Ryan is trying to say is he was playing professional video games before it was cool.
Yeah.
Like and I need you to understand this, and he'll probably do a better job explaining it than I will, but like you're a weirdo now if you don't play video games. Like, that's number one. Even kind of still kind of weird if you don't even at least, like, touch ranked of any, like, kind of, FPS, Marvel Rivals, something like that, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to ask, like, what your rank is. When Ryan was playing COD, when he was doing MLG, UMG tournaments, he would get made fun of. And maybe not by students, but by teachers, at least to me. We shared a teacher who, you know what? Fuck him. Steven Garska. Yeah, I'll say the birth name. And this dude would walk up to me in biology and say, your brother missed another week of school. I was like, yeah, he was in California. He's doing cool shit. You know what I mean?
Actually.
So, fuck that guy. And he liked weird shit on Twitter. So, that also happened.
He on my gaming Twitter, which was funny as hell. And he fucked up. He, liked my tweets. And he didn't follow me. But that's beside the point. So, so I was doing this, crazy gaming stuff. And I think it was fun as hell. But I wasn't making a lot of money. People were like, oh, how much money did you make? Dude, I had some, tournament winnings and stuff like that. But really, I just got, all my stuff paid for a pretty long time. I can expand on how I had to work while I was doing it, right? So we're jumping all over the place, and we're going to continue, and it's fine. But
it happens.
It's not sad, but dude, we do not come from a lot of money at all, and I was working full time at Chick-fil-A while I was I was working part time while in high school while I was doing the gaming thing, but then I was at 2015 I was out of high school, working full-time at Chick-fil-A and pursuing this gaming thing, but then also peer pressured into going to community college. So, our stepdad at the time was kind of you can't even blame, dude, all in hindsight, you can't even blame him, but it was basically dude, if you're going to live here, post 18 in high school, you have to be going to school. So I'm like, all right, whatever, so be it. So I was taking community college classes, working full-time, and trying to do this gaming thing. And that it is a full-time job in itself. You have to be playing 8+ hours a day, because it's just a sport. If you're not, you're falling behind. And COD is a race of it's a knowledge race. When the game comes out, new one comes out, you got to learn this shit as fast as possible and try to figure out the maps and stuff like that. So to sidetrack for a little bit, one of my literally, I feel I have no regrets in life except for one. And my one regret in life is going to college right after high school and just taking community college classes. And the only reason why is because I feel that was one of the few things that I legitimately got peer pressured into doing. By teachers, by parents, by just society of people telling you to school. Because really it was just counterproductive. I was taking I was paying out of pocket to take these classes that I was then not showing up for because I was doing stuff for COD and stuff like that. Also working full time, and I was just spreading myself too thin. And who knows? If I my team we go to this world championship tournament in LA, and at the time the prize pool was $1 million, and if you made there's top 32 teams from the world, and top 8 got paid at the time. Now, dude, these fools are getting $100,000 just to be there, which is crazy. But at the time, it was 2015. It was top 8 got paid, and in that series, we were top 12 at the time. And the series to get to top 8, it's that would have been my validation of everything I've done. It's it wasn't, dude. It would have been even I think it was I forget. I want to say even if I finished 8th, it was 3,500 a person.
Was this with SOAR or Orbit?
This is with Orbit. This is with Orbit. This is shout out Lamar Accuracy.
Ooh, shout out Lamar.
Sinful and Twiz, or Twiz and Jonathan. Yeah, I mean, hey, dude, this, you know, it is what it is with the team, dude. We were actually way better than like what it looked like on paper. And we were these things are in best of fives. All these series, you know, first of 3 maps wins, and we were up 2-0 in the match for top 8 and lost. And like the guy came back on.
Do you remember who it was against?
Oh hell yeah, TK. Team Caliber.
Oh, Team Caliber.
Yeah, Sharp, Gunjar. I assume it was Theory and Neslo. I assume these are, you know, COD gamers at the time.
We're going way back,
way
yeah.
back right now. And and here's a crazy thing I can open up on, dude. As I've reflected on life, like I actually know why. I know why I lost in that, and I don't even say like I know why our team lost, because like, you know, there's some things that happened in them, but like look at like life as a whole, and like gaming as a whole, and this is definitely we go down this like deeper road. I had so much fun and got to experience so many things, but all of it stemmed from hate, and I think like. And I'll tell you what I mean in a minute, but I think like when you're doing anything for ego-based reasons, you will not succeed, no matter what it is. And like I think that's like, you know, there's some that can be like a fuel for the fire. Like there's, you know, these great athletes and stuff like have you know, like that chip on their shoulders, what keeps them going, whatever the case was. But like, not that I had hate for like any individuals, but like even like if I zoom really far back, like the reason I even got into gaming was I love gaming and I love playing video games. It's a way that I connect with my friends now. It's a way that I've been in contact with so many people. It's fantastic. But like even when like I was super young, like playing like game battles matches were just like these like online matches and stuff like that. Like even the reason I got into that was because the kids I went to middle school with wouldn't let me play with them. So
what?
Legit. So, you know, I started playing video games and we're just playing game battles. We're like 12, 13 years old, right? We're playing these like online matches. And these kids I went to middle school with like thought, they're like, nah, like basically like, you're not good enough to play with us. And I was like, bro, what the fuck these guys? So I started going to like online forums and like finding random teammates. And then what happens is I start doing really good with these people. And now it's like, oh dude, they come play with us. You know, like, so it's like, I had that thing and it was like, it stemmed from that, and then like I always felt like I was proving myself to myself. Like I had to like prove myself to like the world, or prove myself to like even like, you know, parents that like, hey, like this is something legit. So it wasn't ever like I was never like in the right environment to like for that to flourish. And like, dude, really like I think that all culminated at this like one point like during this champs. So many things had happened in all those years. But like we're at this like, you know, $1 million tournament. We're up 2-0, smoked on the first 2 maps as well. Then we lose like 2 close maps, and now we're like game 5. Search and Destroy in Call of Duty, if you're familiar. You know, it's basically like Counter-Strike, if you're familiar. Anyway, you get 1 life per round, and it's the first to 6. And there was like, basically there's a big round in like the middle of the game where like I'm in a 1v2 against 2 of the people on the other team. Right, I'm the last one alive, and just 2 of them, and kill 1, get to the last spot. Me and this guy are in a 1v1, and we're like jumping. It's Advanced Warfare. You got jetpacks and shit. So we're like jumping around this building, and like I kill him and I win the 1v2, and like I stand, and like again, like when I say like I know that it like stemmed from hate, like more to like when I roasted my, you know, my GM. There's a lot of like internalized things, and I literally was like stood up, I was like, yo, you fucking suck, and I'm like standing up, like pointing over the monitor, like saying this, and that happened all the time in gaming. By the way, this is not like an uncommon thing.
No,
doesn't mean it's right, and probably not, but that's like that was kind of what it was. But it was like, dude, it was me like asserting dominance over someone, and like and dude, when it happened, it was so weird. So I do that, and it's like the middle of the game in a massive round to like swing things. They have a bunch of fans behind them because they were like they had a name to the team. We didn't really have like a big name.
This is TK, right?
Yeah, TK.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big org.
At the time, yeah.
It was a big org at the time. It was very, they were very successful.
Their fans behind them are like I'm getting booed, like in person, like boo. And then like I have a ref come over to me. He's like, "Yo, you say something again, like you're getting kicked out of the tournament." And we're talking about Game 5 of this, so it's just like completely like it's just like a fucking like culture shock almost. Like it was like a completely like reset like the foundation for it, dude. And then we ended up losing the match. I think we lost like 6-4 or something like that. And it was weird because like after that round, like actually I think we even won the next round quick. But either way, like your head's not fully in the game, and I really think that like the reason gaming didn't completely succeed, along with like chasing women and other things that play into that, was because that like all of that passion stemmed from like ego and like having or wanting to prove myself, and like probably even like hating myself a little bit, to where like super talented, but ego will only get you like so close to the top, but not enough to like actually give you that success. And yeah, I mean, I could talk about the gaming stuff for days, and we will come back to that and later things, I'm sure. But yeah.
Yes, I am also still in this episode.
Yes, still in this episode, yeah, exactly. And the but that was why, like, so we're talking about Chick-fil-A. So after that tournament, that was like 2015, and then we're talking about fall 2015, and I stopped gaming after that. Like, dude, I literally like. Not exactly after that.
No, that's not true.
Not exactly after that, but I stopped for a while, bro, because I would go through these like, dude, like I was just pissed off. I was just pissed off about a lot of things, probably. But that's Chick-fil-A, and now we're fall of 2015, and things were pretty good for work actually. After that for a while, honestly, it was pretty normal.
Yeah, you know what?
You meet some of your lifelong friends.
Dude, yeah, getting back into my experience with Chick-fil-A around that time, like that's actually like when we probably like created like the best kitchen and the best team that store has ever seen.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like chemistry, cooperation, and just lifelong friendship. I mean, that was the year that that following like 2016, like I'm pretty sure that's when I met Matt. That's when I met Billy, I met Emily, I met Christy, I met Jules, Nina, Dan. Like I met like a lot of these people who I still consider very close to me, which is crazy because we're talking almost a decade ago. And
just slinging chicken.
Yeah, just slinging chicken, man. But dude, yeah, you have some of the greatest memories, dude. Like after close, like snowball fights, like
sure.
dude, just all this like crazy stuff, like ending up at fucking Applebee's on Street Road. Shout out this new restaurant on Street Road. It's called Applebee's. That's an inside joke for the Chick-fil-A viewers who will not watch this. What's it called? Nah, dude, like. Yeah, dude, it was a very interesting and transformational time in my life because I was like without Jaden, Abby, as well as Senek, Josephine, like not even realizing that like I was like literally meeting some of the people who I'm like going to consider friends a decade from then. Like it's just crazy. Like when you really come down to it, like, whoopsie, just how good of a time that was. It's kind of weird. It's like the last episode of The Office, like. Like Andy says, like, I wish you knew that you were in the good old days while you were still in them. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy to look back on now.
Totally. Yeah. What do you think, besides friendships, like, for personal skills, what do you think's biggest takeaway from being in food for, 3 years, 4 years?
So I was at Chick-fil-A for just under almost 6 years. Chick-fil-A. I started in 2015. And my final day was, and then I had like a 6-month-ish hiatus where I left. I left in October of 2020, and then I came back in June of 2021. So I was there. So I was there from October to 2015 to October 2020. So 5 straight years, and then I left. Just to do some self-reflection, work on myself. That COVID was weird. Okay, I think we can all fucking agree to that. All right,
COVID was weird.
But and then I came back in June of 2021, and then my final day was like might have been around like December 21st, 2021. So I would say the biggest thing that I learned was, that's a great question. I would say to delegate tasks. I just mean this. So like that, the biggest thing that I found out was I've always thought that I've had to figure out everything.
Okay.
Like I've always believed that anything that I wanted to succeed in, I could just figure it out myself. But you work so much better when you have good people around
Facts.
you.
Yeah,
And Chick-fil-A really taught me that, funny enough. And then I would say another thing is to I don't know, dude. I would probably say the biggest thing that I really learned was just probably like perseverance.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, like, it's not, bro. That place fucking sucked. Like, dude, there were nights, dude, where like you legit like wanted to be anywhere else. Like, it was the fucking worst thing ever.
Yeah, man.
But at the same time, like, what it taught you is that like life is just genuinely not going to be always like the best.
Sure.
And no matter what, we still have the privilege of waking up every single day, and you have a choice to be alive, and you have a choice to put your best foot forward.
Fair enough.
And I would say that during my time at Chick-fil-A, like, you kind of had no choice but to think about that and to like learn that. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, it's a little sad, but you know, okay, so be it. Yeah, that's a little sad way to look at it. I think it's like you learn how to like work with different people too as like a young kid, like trying to figure out how to work with Zach. You know. Like,
oh my God, patience.
Yeah.
I would probably say that that's another thing. I always considered myself a very impatient person, and the certain types of individuals that you can work with, where you have no control over the staff, like it teaches you patience.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out Zach Burke, great kid.
Yeah.
I think he's still slinging it.
Yeah, it's like tough when you feel like you need to like. You feel like you have to hard carry a team, like
yeah,
so many things.
Absolutely.
And like, I mean, I'm like, I can fucking do all this shit.
Yeah,
and it's like,
no doubt.
But you learn like you probably can, but that doesn't help you. It just actually wears you out faster. And like, you honestly, you need to get these people better because otherwise, you know, you're gonna be like, just burn out. Literally, physically, literally, mentally. Yeah.
And I would also say that probably taught me also one of my greatest strengths is like I love teaching. I love coaching. I love being there for the person next to me and showing them like, hey, I'm not gonna tell you to do anything that I wouldn't do, and I'm gonna show you how it needs to be done and done correctly. And then the coolest fucking part is when you get to do that for someone, and then you watch that same person do it for someone else. It's like almost like a weird, like kind of like proud dad moment, almost like a little bit. Like you literally like watch the personification of your actions through another person.
Fair enough.
I think that that's also like a really, really cool thing, and that's also like kind of like an addicting feeling as well. Like, and I mean that, you know what I mean? Like, I mean that in the sense that like it makes you want to help more people. It makes you want to be better for the people around you, so that you can watch your influence grow over others.
All right, I like that.
You feel me?
No, I do feel that. I mean, do you feel like I translated my skills to you in that world?
Oh, 1,000%. Whether it was conscious or subconscious, you know what I mean? Like whether it was something that you like taught me directly, or like I learned through watching, like through like osmosis. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I got a question for you then. How do you like? So we don't need to get through all the dates and stuff, but basically I had left at a certain point. Like, while you're there for quite some time, like 2 years with me gone, 2+ maybe, because it was like 2019. Like, do you? I know what your answer is, so I'm curious what you have to say. Like, you know, did you feel like you were like living in my shadow, and how did you operate differently than I did?
That's a great question. And yeah, I definitely did. I mean, in probably more ways than one, when, you know, outside of Chick-fil-A for sure.
Sure.
But if we're talking about Chick-fil-A, yeah, dude, absolutely. Like, the comparisons were nonstop. I mean, we have the same fucking side profile. Yep. I mean, there's so many things, right? But what I think I did to try to differentiate myself was, you know, I grew a really close bond with, you know, my guys there. And I really, I tried my absolute best to, let them know. I probably was a little bit more, I would say, emotionally connective than maybe you were. I think that you were a lot better at keeping those things separate, and that's something, I admire you for. I physically can't fucking do that. I love love. I love people. I love being friendly. You know what I mean?
Everybody.
Yes. And the one thing that I tried to differentiate after you left was I wasn't gonna, lead like camp like with a fucking iron
Sure.
fist and make people want to fucking kill themselves,
Sure.
like he did to me. Shout out, but hope Rachel's good. Say hi for me. But what I will say is
Oh man.
yeah, that was funny. But what I will say is
Life.
yeah, right. I just tried my absolute best to, connect with the guys just on like a deeper personal level, and then that really allowed them, I just found a lot of success in them realizing that like not only do I love them as fucking workers, I love them as people.
Yeah, and I think you did, right? You did, because these people are your friends lifelong. I don't have any lifelong friends from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
I mean, yeah, and I feel like a lot of the years and the long nights spent, with those people, it means a lot to me still to this day. And there's a couple of those people who, like I've kind of like fallen out of contact with a little bit just because, life is life and people go their, separate ways. But like kind of like that like core group of people, like not only did they make, the fucking nightmare enjoyable, but they are the people who, I look to, in my life for, just being there for me. And I'm just I'm very thankful for that experience. And I think that, the biggest way that I differentiated myself from you was just creating that connection with those guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Job well done. I
Thank
think
you.
I think you are better at doing that. I think you're better at doing that than me, like, period. Like, in life, like, when we go out to places, you are, like, the more social, like, funnier version of me. Like, that is what I tell people when people
Taller,
ask me
better looking.
Yeah, those
you can
two,
keep going.
Taller, better looking, funnier.
Yeah.
Fucking better talker, all the things.
Yeah, whatever you need, really.
But it's exactly. Yeah, whatever you need. That's good shit. The Chick-fil-A is fun, man. Chick-fil-A fun. Now we're out here.
Yeah, we are.
California. It's funny. It's something I've been trying to do, like, do a lot is like appreciate, like, yeah, it's cliche as fuck. I get it, but like for real, like the whole like hey like you 5 years ago like was literally like dreaming about where you are right now, and like
yes,
and now that you're here, like you still think like fuck man, what's next, but I guess we moved out to California. We got to live together for some time. Risked a lot of things, just literally YOLOing it across the country.
It's literally.
Do you, and I would say like more like, I'm asking you these questions just because I want the answer, not because I think this way. Like I kind of feel like it. Was anyone giving you flack about moving out here because I was out here? And do you think that like you moved out here because you wanted to move out here, right?
That's right.
Not because I was out here.
No.
So why did you want to move out here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I've been dreaming about ever since I was 7 years old. I wanted to be a sports broadcaster for the NFL.
Okay.
And not only is it a dream, it's what I'm going to fucking do. And I'm going to fight tooth and nail to do it. But a lot of people in this life will live and die and never know why they're here. Like, they'll never truly, like, find out what their passion is. They'll never truly find out, like, what really makes them happy. And I am just fucking unbelievably
certified yapper,
privileged and thankful that I am a certified yapper, and I love to talk, and I know what I want to talk about.
Sure.
And, I remember being, like, 13 years old, like, in, like, my fucking middle school computer class, like, looking up, like, this is how much of a fucking nerd I was. Like, looking up where, like, broadcasting companies are. Like, where they're literally, like, located.
Okay.
And I remember the one that stuck out to me the most was I saw ESPN, and that's based in Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm already, like, the East Coast. Weather's probably the same. And, again, I'm if anything, fucking worse. It's more north. So I'm like, what else? And then I see Fox Sports. And Fox Sports, they have an office, and they're based primarily out of Anaheim, California.
Okay.
And I remember being 13. I was like, oh, perfect. I'll just work there.
Sure.
And that's it.
Sure.
And, like, that's literally all it took for me. Anybody who has ever grown up with me, whoever worked with me, whoever went to school with me, whoever has crossed paths with me, in some capacity, I have mentioned that I'm going to live in California.
For sure. Yeah.
And I remember you get back from a tournament in Anaheim. I think it was COD. It might have been COD Champs.
Probably
or
not.
it might have
There was
been
a lot of tournaments in Anaheim.
it might have been like MLG. It might have been
just Anaheim,
MLG Anaheim, like something of that nature. And I remember when you came back, you told me like that was the fucking coolest thing ever. And I remember you made like this really very cool mysterious like Instagram post of like you like on your laptop, but like it said like California.
No, that is
or
not
like
or
no, I'm like all right, or something like that. But or maybe I'm mixing up dates. But I just remember when you came back, you told me that California was so fucking cool and that you could see yourself living there.
Oh yeah, dude.
And I was like, oh, well, not only do I want to live there, I already know what my career is going to be when I get out there. So for the literal past, it'll be next week, 13 years of my life, I'm known where I've wanted to be. And I caught a lot of fucking flack for it when I told people that I was going to move out here. Not friends. And by the way, some friends. But the flack that I caught from them was more like they didn't want to believe that I was moving. Like that was a big thing. Like I remember specifically, I remember talking to Matt. Matt Barish was like the last person I hung out with when I was truly living in Pennsylvania, like that night before I flew out, basically. Yeah. And
it's because you probably packed a minute before you left to leave across the country with your life, but.
Yeah. But anyway, no. But yeah, kinda. But anyway, no. But my point is he didn't want to believe it. Even when I had my going away party on New Year's, no one wanted to believe it. And then I had family friends who were very.
I was actually home for that.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, and I had family friends who told me that they were against it, or that I wouldn't find work, or that I wasn't gonna succeed, and that I didn't know what I was gonna do. Even my own parents were telling me, "Oh, just so you know, in case it doesn't work out, you can always come." Sure. And a part of me selfishly used that as motivation, And again, I love mom and I love dad, but when I told them that I was doing this, and they're like, "Hey, just so you know, if it doesn't work out, hey, just so you know, when it doesn't work out," basically them putting in my head, maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way, but the way I took it at the time was I was very hungry, I was very determined, and hearing even the idea that something couldn't work out was enough motivation to kind of put my own motivation over the top.
Okay.
For me to make it work the moment I got out here.
Yeah, and shout out for you. I told you I wanted you to come out, but dude, I remember I was, I remember saying I was like, "Yo, dude," because first off, I moved out here by myself, and there wasn't the amount of YOLOing that I did to get out here was crazy, and people don't just do what I did. Dude, I was Airbnb-ing in random place. I was doing a lot of random things, and I kind of was at the spot. I was like, dude, I want you to move out, but I haven't told you. I was like, dude, I can't take care of you when you get out here.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't have the resources to do that. So I was like, yo, maybe it's gonna happen in a couple months or whatever that looks like. And then you're like, no, dude, I'm doing it. I'm like, all right, fuck it, dude. If you're actually doing it, let's do it. But I just couldn't, just basically make it. I'm struggling out here by myself. If you come out here and you're struggling, it's gonna be trash, right?
Absolutely.
So, but props to you. You get out there, you find a job in 2 days. I kind of not to you because of who you are made it happen. I just had the place for it, and I knew that it was going to happen. I was I remember even sending you a picture of
you did.
This personal trainers needed, boom, at the gym that I was going to, and day one, dude walks in. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, hey, my name's Casey. I'm gonna work here.
I did say that to the general manager. Shout out Pierre at the time. It was literally
no certification for personal training.
None at that time.
Literally just. How many suitcases did you have?
I packed my entire life 3 suitcases.
3 suitcases. Got blessed by the guy at the airport.
Dude, listen, Frontier. God, what a shit airline. But. Shout out whoever the dude was who was my age.
Yeah.
These suitcases, I don't think they're allowed to weigh over It's like 60 pounds or 50, whatever the fuck it is. It's like 50 or 60 or something like that.
Something like that.
I had a suitcase that weighed 90 pounds. I had another suitcase that weighed like 87. And then another suitcase that weighed like 90 pounds. And this dude is staring at me. He's like, bro, what the fuck? Because, like, I think if you have, like, one bag over, it's like 100. So, like, this is, like, we're looking at, like, $300 right here.
Sure.
I don't have $300 to fucking give this dude extra with everything I've fucking spent. And this dude, I swear on my life, legit looks at me and goes, "Are you moving?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, He's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "California." He said, "You for real?" I said, "I'm dead ass." He said, "Don't say nothing." Smacked a fragile sticker on all of them, threw them behind him, said, "Get the fuck out of here." And I fucking ran like the wind, dude. Like, it was like everything was just perfect.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, like, I had this guy right in front of me who was able to fucking help me. And then, dude, also, the moment I land, and the moment I land carrying around, like, fucking, like, 100.
Trying to find you in that dumbass
Oh,
airport,
my
too.
God.
San Francisco
Fuck
airport.
the SFO airport.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Maze.
And I'm carrying, like, 170 pounds of shit.
Yeah.
And oh my God. And I'm calling Ryan. I'm like, "Dude, please fucking find me." You're like, "Dude, I'm trying." I'm like, "You don't get what I'm doing right now."
Maze.
It was the
It's
worst.
Maze. There's levels. There's floors. There's colors. There's
Basically sold everything that I could. I sold my crypto. I sold my car. I sold basically anything that I could to have extra money getting out there. And
You had a car.
no.
No, you had a car.
Oh, yeah, I
That's what I'm
did.
saying.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I sold my car. I sold my crypto. I had a lot of Ethereum, which I wish I still had, but it's okay. We're
It
building.
is what it is, dude.
Hey, it is what it is. If if I don't do that, I'm not talking to you right here from this couch.
Facts.
And dude, yeah, I literally came to California with enough for first month's rent, and that's about it. And I remember you sent me the picture like a couple months before I moved out, and it was of the whiteboard, and it said personal trainers needed at the gym that you were going to. And I walked in to get a 3-day free pass. I meet the GM, and I say, "Hey, my name is Casey Lawless. It's really nice to meet you. I'm going to be working here." And this dude, I swear on my life, looks back at me. He's like, "Yeah, okay."
Okay.
Yeah, and then my 3-day trial passes up, and then I just keep coming to the gym, and no one's stopping me.
Sure.
And then I put in my application like the 5th time that I'm there, and then within a week I have a job as a sales executive.
Damn.
And then as I'm a sales executive, I become close with the fitness manager. I get my personal training and my CPR certifications, and then I move to personal trainer.
Yeah. Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
Props to you. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, dude. And then from there, right there. And then from there, became the highest earning trainer in the entire Bay Area for 6 months straight. Found my way into technology sales. And now I live in this beautiful apartment with my girlfriend, and I have a work from home office, and I have a fucking incredibly privileged life that I fucking built.
Pretty amazing.
So,
Good for you, dude.
yeah, if I can do it, you can fucking do it too. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't need much, you just need fucking grit.
You know, and there's a lot of, obviously nothing's done by itself. Like I definitely need a lot of help. Dude, Aaron gave me like $300 to like put the down payment on
Legend.
the apartment that we were getting into. We can tell the fuck Ted Wong story. That's a good story.
Fuck Ted Wong.
Interesting. What a wild things that would happen. You just like don't even exist. But
Ted Wong might need his own episode. Not gonna lie.
I do want to say, like, obviously, you had like, dude, you have a bunch of stuff in the house or in the room at mom's house, right? You just like left a bunch of shit there, right?
So much shit.
So there's it's yeah, you can do it, but like nothing's ever done by yourself. Like me even moving out, like, dude, I got blessed with people I worked with at the time, like hooked me up with like a bunch of people giving me money, and like I even got like gift cards for like gas and stuff, dude. I was like
really
driving across. Yeah, I did.
That's so nice of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
I did not know that.
Totally, yeah. Ayana put together this like party for me like at the end of work, and like people gave me cards. It was
that's so nice.
you should be a good person because you never know like when you're gonna need stuff.
Absolutely.
And you know, people came through great for me, like just moving out there.
Nah, dude, but real quick, like even like my best friends on the night of me moving, like came over to basically like send me off and like help me pack, and like, you know, you don't get cool and good things like that when you aren't a good person.
Facts.
So the fact that people even wanted to not only see me right before I left, but to fucking help me with the fucking process of everything. I had fucking Abby and Josh sitting on a suitcase so I could even get the fucking zipper closed. Like, dude, like stuff like that I'll never forget. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
I remember Abby telling me to fucking not pack so many hoodies because I'm moving to California and it's not going to be cold. Little did she know I was moving to. Little did she know I was moving to the Bay Area. It's pretty fucking cold here, or it was.
You need the hoodies.
But yeah, no, it was just it's an experience I won't ever forget. Love my friends.
That's good stuff, dude. And now we're out here.
We are.
We're out here. We lived together for a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
We did live together for a little bit. I hated him by the end of it.
Shout out. The beginning was good. You know, we had a good little run, and then I just I'll put it blatantly. I was an asshole. I never lived alone before, and I didn't really understand like what went into everything, and I can thankfully say that I didn't hate you. But you had every right to hate me. I'll tell you that.
and we could probably shut up now. Let's
that's a different one.
How about let's talk about you talk about like how you built a lot by yourself, but you are now here with your girlfriend.
Absolutely.
How'd you meet her? What's the story on is this a good one?
Oh my,
is cool for it? Yeah?
You don't know this story?
No, I have no idea.
Good save. Dude, this is my favorite fucking. I love that woman so much. This is my favorite story of all time. So, I've been working at the gym for, I guess at this point, 5 months. So it was like end of May, early June.
Okay.
And I just got done training a client, and you know me, I fucking make fucking friends with everyone. So by this,
he's also the loudest person in the room. You can hear him training from miles away.
Yeah, you know I'm in the gym. If you just walk through the door, you'll just hear Casey. It's probably how I got, honestly, most of my fucking clients. Just because not only was I always there, I didn't shut the fuck up, and I was really loud. But, so it actually, it worked out, okay? But anyway, I just got done training with a client, and my buddy Tristan, shout out Tristan, was on calf raises, and I just walked out of the bathroom, and I just see him. So him and I were just talking, and I swear on my fucking life, dude. I look down from my phone, and then I look back up. I see the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life walk right through the gym doors and then just go straight to the turf, immediately starts stretching, gets right up, walks right over to the squat rack. She says, fuck the bar, immediately starts warming up with 135. I said, that's the hottest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, oh my. And not only that, she wasn't with anyone.
Little do y'all know, by the way, like 3 years before what he's saying right now, this guy weighed about 120 pounds wet. Okay, for the record. So what you see now, and hearing a story about his girlfriend,
more like 5 years ago.
Yeah, whatever.
But he's not far off. So I've since become a meathead. I'm still small, but
well, at this time, it was like 3 years ago, too.
Yeah, at this time.
COVID was basically the lifting.
COVID, yeah. I like to credit that the day that I decided to truly take the gym seriously for the rest of my life was December 1st, 2020. And that's what I said. And ever since then, I think I've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, dude.
Warrington Edge. Hell yeah. But anyway, so getting back to it, but Denise, at the time, I didn't know who she was. I literally looked at Tristan. I said, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And Tristan looks at me. He's like, dude, I have no idea. I was like, that's the coolest fucking girl I've ever seen. Like, what is going on? He's like, I have no idea. And I think the hottest thing was the fact that she didn't talk to anyone. Like, just
locked in.
Dude, oh my God. It was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, to watch, like, a girl walk into a gym.
Yeah.
hostile environment, to be honest with you.
Sure.
A lot of testosterone,
Sure.
a lot of terrible lifting, a lot of bad cutoff shirts. Like it's a
lot
bad
of bad form and a lot of egos.
Yeah. I mean, ego is the most used machine in the gym. But to watch her squat and then to just immediately just get into machines, doing a cycle, doing her routine, going to cardio, stretching after the workout and leaving. I mean, I was infatuated. I was like, this girl clearly is coming in here. She knows exactly what she wants. She knows exactly, what her goals are. And I think that's such an attractive quality to me.
Sure.
Is
sure.
like anybody who's goal oriented,
Yeah.
anybody who like has
Independent, right?
Independent, absolutely. She showed up by herself. She left by herself. Like
Yeah.
it's like little stuff like that. You know what I mean? So from there, I was like, dude, this is the most beautiful woman. This is the coolest girl ever. So being a trainer at the gym that I was, with your membership, you got like a free training session. So like the way that I would get clients, like most of the time was me just approaching gym goers and just saying like, yo, like just so you know, like your membership comes with a free, training session. We can just kind of show you, get the structure for you, just show you how it goes. So, funny enough, as like confident and fucking boisterous and insane as I am, this girl made me nervous as fuck.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, how the fuck do I approach this girl as an employee without looking like a fucking creep?
Sure.
She has since told me, she's like, Casey, you are too hot to ever be perceived as a creep, and that's verbatim. So thanks, baby, appreciate that one. But I did not know this at the time.
Not serial killer vibes.
No, zero.
That's a tragic part of life,
Yeah,
that's a tragic part of life. If you're trapped, you get away with things. It's unfortunate.
I mean, dude, the amount of women that showed up at like the courthouse for Ted Bundy is like insane. If you know anything about that.
I don't, but I believe it.
But anyway, so I was like really scared to approach her actually, because like how the fuck do I do that without like coming off as like whatever?
Sure.
And I never really like looked at someone like that before, like genuinely.
Hell yeah.
And I remember, dude, like, bro, I like fell in love with the way that this girl spoke. Dude, I remember the first, because, by the way, this is 2022, and in California, we're still wearing masks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
very weird.
Yeah,
like,
we
when
were
I moved to
wearing
California in 2022, we were still wearing masks, and we
That's
were
right.
still wearing masks up to, like,
I don't even know when, to be honest.
I really don't. Maybe June. Like, literally, maybe May, June.
Yeah.
It feels around
Maybe.
that.
I have no idea, bro.
But all I know is she was still coming in with a mask, and I didn't know what her face looked like. I just knew she was fucking beautiful. And I remember I was training a client towards the door on the right side. There was like a little training area right next to the opening door, and I heard her speak to the front desk employee, and I heard her voice for the first time. I'm like, oh my god, she even sounds beautiful. Like that's genuinely like how I felt. Literally. So again, it was a couple days after that, and I had a buddy who I got close with while I was training with, and I watched this motherfucker approach my girlfriend, now girlfriend, for a free training session. And by the way, you can only do like once it's done to one person, like you can't like they're not allowed to do it with anyone else. And this motherfucker knew that, and he knew I liked her too. And
What a dog.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
What a dog.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him anyway, buddy. Okay, sorry about to get fuck nerd. But anyway, so they have the free training session, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. And there's one night, and I befriended like this like group of like powerlifter buddies.
Oh yeah, you did.
And they were like some of like the first like real friends that I made.
Befriended, took over the gym.
Oh yeah. Owned the middle turf area, deadlifted, caused a ruckus. It was the best.
Ridiculous.
That was a great time in my life too. And I remember, and by the way, dude, when you're a personal trainer, dude, when you are full time, I was at the gym like legit 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
It fucking sucked. Like it actually made me fall out of love with lifting.
Do you miss personal training?
No.
Okay.
Maybe in small doses. I miss like being able to like develop a plan and like watch that plan work for my people, have them thank me. Like I miss those conversations. Like that was really cool. I do miss that aspect of it. But I remember I was done finally for the day. It was like 8 o'clock at night. I've probably been there since 8 in the morning. And I'm just there with my buddies, and we're just kind of all chilling on the turf, just like shooting the shit. And I remember this girl walked by, And I forget who it was. It was like someone who went to the gym at that time. And she said like, hey to me. I was like, hey, what's up? And then my one buddy, Peter, was like, Case, is that your girlfriend? And then Eric goes, every girl in the gym is Casey's girlfriend.
Damn,
and then all my friends go, ha, 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 right?
Dog.
And then the trainer's name was Evan. Evan goes, yeah, even my clients ask about him, which made me like snap and be like, who the fuck are you talking about? And he literally looks at me. He's like, you know Denise? I said, the fuck do I know Denise? I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, she asked me if you were single. I'm like, what the fuck did you I said, what the fuck did you say? And he said, I don't know. Go ask him. I said, Evan, what is wrong with you?
Did she ask you?
No. So, of course, now I know I'm in. I'm in. Like a fucking early 2000s hacker. I'm in.
Crack the code.
Hack the mainframe. And so literally next day I walk up. It's a Friday. And she's doing hip thrusts with a barbell on like one of the benches. She like pulled up a barbell and she's doing hip thrusts. And I can clearly tell this she's hitting legs. But I walk over. I'm like, hey Denise, what are you hitting? Real smooth. Real fucking smooth. And she said, oh, I'm just hitting legs. I said, great. I said, when are you hitting them next? And she said, I'm probably going to hit them on Monday. I said, great. You want to do it together?
Wow.
And she said, absolutely, I do.
Match made in heaven. Look at these.
Like, legitimately, like, Jim from The Office or Pam from The Office, like, saying that when Dwight asked them to do anything, and they say, and Jim and Pam would say, like, absolutely, I do. That's exactly how she was to me.
Shit.
So then from there, we worked out a few times, and I genuinely had the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Not only just working out, but just hanging out with somebody. And she was going on this trip, like out of the country for like 2 weeks. And I remember it was coming up, and this is on a Wednesday, and she's leaving Saturday. And I'm literally thinking to myself, and this is, by the way, we worked out 3 times in like a 2-week period. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, if I don't say something to this girl, she's gonna like forget about me, find someone in a fucking European country. I'm fucking dead. I'm done. I'm done. So it's over. So it's Wednesday. We had a great workout, and I'm like, all right, yeah, have a good one, bye. And she's like, oh, okay, bye. And she's walking out the door, and I'm just thinking, I have to ask this girl out. I fucking can't. I fucking run out the fucking door to fucking go get her. I catch her.
Hair blown in the wind.
And I'm like, dude, like, literally. And I look at her, I'm like, what are you doing Friday night? She's like, nothing. I have nothing. I'm not doing anything. No, I'm not doing anything. Nothing. Why do you ask? And I'm like, do you want to get dinner at 7? And she's like, 100% yes. And then her and I went on our first date at this French place in Santana Row. Oui. And it was the moment I realized that was the last first date I was ever going on.
I think I'm going to cry.
That's how it is, man.
I think I'm going to cry.
She knows who she is, dude. She's the best.
It's amazing. Now here you got a beautiful pet dog.
Real. Arthur, Chocolate Lab. Shout out.
Shout out Arthur.
Such
Dude,
a dog.
I think this is a great place to end episode 1, man.
I do too, man. This was so much fun. I have no idea how long we've even been recording. Has to have been over an hour.
Hour and 42 minutes right
Holy shit.
And we don't even know what we talked about. We blacked out. I blacked out.
I blacked out.
I kind of know, but it was like,
I felt like I didn't talk for like 20 minutes when you were going into gaming.
Yeah.
Which is all good.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, it was.
It's all good.
It's good balance.
It's stuff that needs to be talked about. Absolutely.
And there's so much more. We're just having fun with this entry level.
This is crazy. And I feel like we just sat down.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes ago.
It's good. It's good stuff, man.
It's good stuff, man.
Great way to start Born Lawless.
Absolutely.
Jalen will be hung up in the next,
Yes, you will see my goat, Jalen Hurts. He will be right. He'll be right here. You'll be right there.
And we're gonna, we get the raw. I mean, we'll probably edit this out. Who the fuck knows? But we got the raw content done. Chop it up. See what's happening. See what's going on. But I think everything about this felt right. You know what
dude. I mean? Dude, yeah, this has just been a blessing, man. This is something that, when I truly say this, like you are one of my best friends.
Fuck yeah, baby.
And the fact that you're my brother.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people who I've met who are like, yeah, I don't talk to my sister. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't talk to my brother. Thank fucking God that I have such a great relationship with not only you, but our sister.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
she's the fucking best. Shout out, Joel.
Shout out, Joel.
And
Yeah, dude. I love you too, man. I think this is good for us.
absolutely.
I think this is great for us, and it is probably gonna be good for a lot of other people. You know, which is really cool.
Yeah, selfishly, this is really good for us.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I hope that other people and our viewers eventually, can experience this and, maybe get something out of it.
Oh yeah, dude. Love you, dude.
Love you too.
Um,
All right. I'm Casey Lawless,
Ryan Lawless.
and this was Lawless Brothers Radio.
Check y'all later. Peace.
See ya.